Hi all, it's Jonathan from Style Factory, the go-to site for e-commerce tips and advice. In today's video, I'm going to spell out all the key pros and cons of dropshipping. Let's kick things off with a quick overview of how dropshipping actually works. Dropshipping is a way of selling online in which you don't manufacture, purchase, store or deliver any products. Instead, you take orders for products via your online store and pass them on to a supplier. The supplier then sends the goods to the customer and charges you a fee for doing so. But should you embrace dropshipping as a business model? Well, let's go through the advantages and disadvantages of dropshipping and find out. First up, the advantages. 1. Dropshipping gives you a low-cost, low-risk way to start a business. The main advantage of the dropshipping model is that it lets you start a business very cheaply. The only upfront cost is the monthly fee for an online store builder, like Wix or Shopify. And platforms like these are generally fairly affordable, at least when you're starting out. And because you don't have to pay for any products until one of the visitors to your online store actually buys one, there's no manufacturing or inventory purchasing costs to worry about either. 2. It lets you sell a wide range of products. With dropshipping, you can sell pretty much anything you like. A huge number of dropshipping suppliers is available to supply you with a vast range of products, giving you a lot of flexibility regarding niche selection. Working with a dropshipping supplier is usually a simple case of connecting their dropshipping app to your e-commerce store. Popular apps for selling household goods include Deezers and Spocket. Alternatively, you can use print-on-demand services like Printful or Printify to sell your own customized printed products. Check out the video description for some links to popular dropshipping platforms and suppliers. 3. It lets you run a business from anywhere. So long as you have an internet connection and a computer, you can essentially run a dropshipping business from anywhere. You don't need to worry about finding a physical location for your business to operate from, something that can take a lot of time and cost a lot of money. 4. It's not labour intensive. Unlike a business model that involves manufacturing your own products or stocking someone else's, dropshipping is not labour intensive. You generally won't need to worry about manufacturing, shipping products, or inventory management. You will have to field inquiries from customers and occasionally organise product returns. But overall, if you set things up the right way, the workload involved with dropshipping is usually very manageable. 5. It's scalable. A key advantage of dropshipping is its scalability. With other business models, getting growth usually entails spending a lot of money and managing more and more inventory, staff, and logistics. But dropshipping allows you to expand without these financial or operational headaches. You're dealing with a digital infrastructure that can support rapid expansion without significant investment. 6. It's great for running experiments with. Because the dropshipping business model is relatively risk-free, it gives you a lot of freedom to try things out. Experimenting with your dropshipping store's branding, product ranges, and approach to online advertising doesn't really involve much, if any, expenditure. And because dropshipping is based around digital technology, you can get a lot of valuable and easy to access data from these experiments. These can be used to develop your business with. Okay, so that all sounded great, didn't it? But there are some significant downsides to be aware of when it comes to dropshipping. I'll go through these in just a moment. But before I do, I'd just like to invite you to subscribe to our channel and hit the notifications bell. This helps us out and gives you easy access to lots of great e-commerce resources. I'd also like to encourage you to check out the video description, where you'll find lots of additional dropshipping resources. You'll also find links there to trials of e-commerce platforms and dropshipping apps, including a special 3-month Shopify trial. Okay, now let's move on to the disadvantages of dropshipping as a business model. 1. Dropshipping profit margins can be low. Because dropshipping is a low-cost, low-risk business model, the barriers to entry are usually very low. So, you'll inevitably find a lot of other merchants entering the dropshipping space, selling the exact same products as you and competing heavily on price. And all this puts pressure on you to sell products more cheaply than you'd like to and eats into your margins. 2. It's hard to ensure that your inventory is ethically produced. The advantage of making your own products or sourcing them locally is that you can gain a really clear understanding of who made your inventory and how it was produced. With dropshipping, however, you're often in the dark about the working conditions in which your products were made. Many dropshipping companies are based in locations where forced labour is not uncommon. The takeaway here is that if you care about ethics, do some due diligence before committing to a particular supplier. 3. You don't get much control over branding. With a lot of dropship products, you have little control over the appearance of your products. You are generally dealing with off-the-shelf items that lots of other merchants are already selling online. Accordingly, if having a product range featuring your own brand is important to you, then dropshipping is not necessarily for you. 4. Suppliers can be unreliable. With dropshipping, you're often relying on suppliers that you don't know personally and that you can't adequately vet. This can lead to issues with product quality, bad communication, products going missing, and low-quality packaging being used. And all this can result in unhappy customers. 5. Providing customer support can be hard. When a dropshipping order goes wrong, good customer service can be tricky to provide. This is because when a problem crops up, you are often relying on a third-party supplier who you don't know and who may be located on the other side of the planet to solve it. This can lead to long waits for a resolution to problems, and your customers may be puzzled as to why you, the online store owner, can't just resolve issues quickly yourself. 6. Shipping fees can eat into your profit margins. Depending on where your customers and suppliers are based, shipping your products may prove expensive. A lot of dropshipping suppliers are located in China, so if the bulk of your customers are based in the US, they or you, if you're offering free shipping, will have to pay a high fee to get their products delivered to them. 7. There are environmental issues to consider. Dropshipping isn't particularly environmentally friendly. If your suppliers are based in China, as many big dropshipping suppliers are, and your customers are based in the US or Europe, the delivery process is going to generate a larger carbon footprint than you might like. So from an environmental and sustainability point of view, dropshipping isn't always great. And that's that, our take on all the dropshipping pros and cons. Remember to check out the video description for links to other useful resources on dropshipping, including links to platforms and apps that you can use to start a dropshipping business with. Before you go, I'd like to invite you to like this video, click subscribe, and hit the notification bell. This helps us out and means you won't miss out on all our latest e-commerce videos. You might also like to join our mailing list. When you do so, you'll get access to our free e-commerce kit, which contains a host of useful free resources on how to start an online business, along with discounted access to key e-commerce tools. There's a sign-up link in the description. And finally, if you have any questions, do drop them in the comments. We read them all and will do our best to help.